Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers. And peace and blessing and salutation to the hopeful lake out there pushing this word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds. In the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners who may have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, and what I want to get into, just going to in transit, dealing with the reality of prophecy. Okay, the reality of prophecy. You see, because as we get to the point, where these devils are being forced, to go with their move. All right, we have to understand that they're going to make some major splashes, as to rolling out. All right, this NWO. Okay, they're going to make certain events. They're going to cause certain events, to happen to justify them making their next move. Okay, so as you see, because this, this presidency, because we, over the time, these different presidents, like you go back to Obama, you go back to, even Donald Trump first term, okay. And it felt way different than this one because they're making so many moves towards technocracy. Like presidents of old, they was all controlled puppets of the elites, doing the bidding of the elites. Okay? But it's with this one, this presidency with Trump, it's all about technocracy. They're not doing anything domestically for the people. Even that whole rhetoric to make America great again, that's been out the door. You don't even hear that talking point anymore. You don't even hear about the talking points of the working class. Okay? You don't hear the talking points, of the conservative family. Majority of the talking points that you hear now, okay, is forwarding AI and marketing AI, marketing digital infrastructure, okay, boasting in technology, deregulating, okay, anything that could hinder big tech, okay. There was a time when, the president had to play into, this little game of domestic politics, doing things for the people, talking points concerned about, what can help domestically, okay? But this presidency, you can tell it's not, their talking point of helping the people don't even come up like that. He used that for a campaign to disarm you people and, get you people hopes up, but what we seen is the biggest bait and switch ever. For what the president said he was going to do, all right, and what he's actually doing. Which is the complete opposite. It ain't like it's just, promises that's not fulfilled. He's doing the opposite of things that he's promised. Okay? And they're intentionally crashing the economy. The job market is trash. AI, has more control than ever, and is gaining more control. And the part of people not being able to, get jobs, not only is AI replacing, the actual job task, but now your resume has to go through AI. A lot of resumes are being sent right back to applicants okay, because of AI. You know, there's a barrier now. There's an AI barrier between applicants, okay, and the actual people, okay, the employees of these companies, the employers that do the hiring. You know, actual people that do the hiring. You know, there's a lot of applications that are being rejected by AI. You know, and what this devil is rolling out that he's presenting as this utopia, man, is an absolute shit show, man. You know, and it's oppression on a whole nother level. Esau, he's getting ready to bring oppression and slavery on a level, okay, that the earth has never seen. Like, this is the wicked with all this technology and power and resources. This is what the wicked would be doing. Okay? And it's getting to the point to where the only thing that's making sense is what the prophets are saying. Anyone that's making sense are saying the things that the Lord has had the prophets saying for decades. Anybody that's making sense right now, you know, they're saying what the prophets have been saying for decades. Okay, beginning with our apostles and elders. Okay? Because the only thing that makes sense of what's going on, okay, is prophecy, the Bible. Okay? Because the Bible is telling you the truth of the matter. Okay? The wicked, Esau Edom is in rulership, and he's doing what the wicked would be doing. Okay? And he's trying to enslave humanity on a level, okay, that's never been seen before. Alright? And as usual, he's trying to sell it to you, okay, as if there's nothing better than this. You see? He's selling enslavement as if there's nothing better than this, man. Okay? And remember, this the nigga that tricked, alright, Eve out of immortality. You know? He tricked Eve out of immortality as if he had a better way. Okay, you see how that has ended. Okay? You see the predicament of the nigga woman, the most miserable creature on earth. Okay? And this man is selling, okay, misery as utopia. People are already depressed, you know, languishing, as the scriptures say. Alright? You know, suicide is at an all-time high. People unaliving themselves. Okay? So this man has brought misery to the earth like no other ruler. Okay? And he wants to double down on that, triple down. Because with this technology, he'll be able to do things, okay, on a whole nother level. This will give him control on a whole nother level. You know? And these things are being rolled out. Alright? What we're seeing this devil start to implement in society has been things that are in the making. These things didn't just start when Trump got in and technocrats, you know, came to the forefront. No, these things didn't just start then. Okay? These things have been in the works for a long time. Okay? He's been prepping everybody's minds, okay, for this technocracy for a long time. Okay? And that's why he made technology so accessible. Because even, you know, the devices that we have is a part of his digital infrastructure. Okay? For him to be able to train AI, okay, to a certain point. Okay? To where AI can govern society. Okay? So even these devices that we have, okay, have been a part of, okay, this digital infrastructure that's being rolled out now. Okay, it's just going into another phase, to where it's to the point to where people are going to have to merge with technology. Okay? To be able to coexist within this infrastructure, technology is going to have to be inside you, man. And this is what John the Revelator was seeing. Okay? When you go to Revelation 13 and 16, he was seeing people being merged with technology. And if you didn't merge, okay, you couldn't participate in society. Okay? And everything is trending their way. Alright? What they say in the UK? If you don't get the digital ID, which is a stepping stone to the MOTB, to the Karagma, to the device going in you. Okay? But if you don't have it, you can't work in the UK. Okay? So these devils, okay, are to the point of they're finna enforce this. You see? They're finna enforce this thing. Okay? And as they get ready to enforce this, they're gonna create situations where it's chaotic. You know, people, alright, begin to purge each other because they don't want, alright, the population to be where it's at. Okay? They plan on doing a whole hell of a lot of depopulation, okay, going into this new world order. Alright? And that's why scripture says the time's going to be like a time of no other. Alright? And we're going to have full confidence in our power going into these times. Okay? And the Bible always, you know, comforts us. When the Bible, you know, tells us about these times, well, they comfort us right behind it. Okay? It is a time of Jacob's trouble where he shall be delivered out of it, speaking of the elect of Israel. Okay? Every time, you know, 2nd Esdras 16, okay? How the time of trouble is at hand, but we will be delivered from the same. Okay, so we have to be fully persuaded, all right, in our power coming into these times. And this is why, you know, you got to look at the timing of things. Because what these guys are doing is confusion is at an all-time high, okay, amongst, you know, those that know that they're Israelites. Okay, confusion is an all-time high because your enemy wants you to go in this time confused. Okay, Esau wants you to go into this time completely confused. Okay, so as this devil is getting ready to roll these things out, okay, he wants you Israelites, okay, to walk into these times confused. Okay, so he has these men, okay, paid off to confuse you, man. And what you have to understand, you got to tie all this together. The same people that's rolling out, you know, this digital public infrastructure, okay, the same people that's getting ready to enforce, you know, digital IDs and ultimately the C-HIP is the same people that's paying these men to teach you their bullshit. Okay? It's all connected. Okay? And the timing of it let us know that these devils, all right, are getting ready, okay, to make a leap forward. Okay? Because they want you confused. See, we're coming to the time to where we're getting ready to have to take a hard stance in righteousness, man. You know, and ready to lose everything based on what we believe. And if you're going into this time confused on what you believe, you're not going to be built to take the hard stance necessary, okay, to stand in righteousness, man. To be faithful to Yahweh Bashim Al Shah. Okay? If you're still arguing about what Cornelius is, if he's an Edomite or not, alright? You're not ready to take no hard stance, okay, in righteousness, okay, in the times we're getting ready to come into, man. You see? You know, the whole thing is Cornelius now. Cornelius is somewhere doing the news and prophecy, man. You know, he's in the camp somewhere doing the news and prophecy, okay, cursing his devil out, man. Okay, calling on the name of the Lord, man, waiting on the deliverance, man. Okay, you Israelites, so you know now, you know Cornelius is your focal point. Okay, while this devil, okay, is rolling this thing out real time. Okay, all over the place. You know, causing this to happen, that to happen, this false flag, you know, this order, Genesis, all right, mission Genesis, you know, this executive order, and this, you know, the Israelite ID being mandated for this company and that company and this country, okay, all these things are happening, okay, and this is the perfect time for you Israelites to be confused, okay, on the elementary thing of the scriptures, man. Okay, so you got a lot of Israelites that's getting ready to go into this time naked, no faith in anything. Okay, and a lot of you Israelites, you know, you just here to hang out, you know, you here to argue, and you know that's your highlight. Okay, being rooted in Yahushua, all right, it's not on the agenda for a lot of Israelites. They know that they're Israelites, man. You know, they're just here for argument's sake. Okay? And while you niggas are stuck on that argument about Cornelius and the nations being saved, guess what? You still finna have to deal with the reality of what this devil is finna bring. Okay? What are you gonna do? All right, is this devil getting ready to push these mandates? Okay, as serious choices going to have to be made. You see, serious choices are going to have to be made. You're going to have to deal with the reality of prophecy. All right, in the midst of your argument, man. In the midst of you trying to debate. Okay. You're going to have to deal with reality, man. Okay? And if you just been sitting here waiting on the latest back and forth, all right, so you can leave a long-ass comment, if that's what you're here for, you're finna fold, you're finna buckle. Because the type of pressure that's finna come, okay, the type of environment that's finna be in the earth, you're finna buckle. Okay, if you still trying to figure out why all camps can't just come together, you know you not ready for this, man. Okay, your reasoning that you know, your reasoning is not built for what's to come. You know, and we pray we're built for what's to come, man. But we know for sure damn well that if you're still trying to figure out why all camps can't come together, you ain't built for this, man. You ain't built for what's to come. Okay? You ain't nowhere near where you supposed to be, man. If you still scratching your head trying to figure that out. You know? Don't know what the MOTB is. Okay, you confused as hell on that. Okay? So here it is, you've been confused. Okay? On all these, you know, you're confused on things that matter. Okay? Everything is up for debate. You going into Jacob's trouble with a mindset that everything is up for debate. Well, do that mean that? Well, it could mean Well, I don't know. Paul and Luke was friends. Mark was Luke's friend. We don't know. We got to rethink this one. Okay? So if you in that spirit coming into, alright, Jacob's trouble, okay, you're being set up for failure, man. Okay? And like I say, the same, alright, people, alright, that's making these mandates, okay, that has China on the digital, because the elites, okay, are forwarding their technology that China got. It comes from, alright, with these American corporations, man. Okay, remember, all these American corporations move, okay, their manufacturing to China. Okay, so all this tech that China has, it comes from Babylon. Okay? So this digital, okay, technocracy that we see in China, okay, all this came from the West. Alright? And China is just a model of what they want to do globally, man. Okay? So the same people that's digitizing the earth, okay, building up these data centers, talking about putting data centers in space, okay, the same people that's doing that is the same people, alright, that's responsible for these niggas teaching you this bullshit, man. Okay, and you always got to consider the timing of these things, man. Okay? But what we have to understand is, we know the Lord, okay, set up blind leaders of the blind. Okay? So you can go into this time completely blinded when it comes to prophecy. Okay, when it comes to what's what, as to what's going on real time with prophecy, man. Okay, as the scriptures say, you know, Sirach 39:1, you know, about what, being occupied in prophecy, knowing what's going on. We're in the time now. We have to be circumspect, man. Okay, this is a time of being circumspect. Okay, going into this thing, you know, confused, full of doubt, uncertainties, and all, man, we gotta be certain what we believe, man. This is the time to be more certain of what we believe than ever. You know, this is the time to be fully rooted in sound doctrine, man. Okay, because when that pressure come, okay, because that's what Jay act like it ain't gonna. Jay act like it's just always gonna be like this. You know, arguing and Wingstop. You see, Jay act like it's always gonna be these 4-hour sit downs about gossip and this text message and this DM and she had to get an abortion and, you know, the pagan kid disappeared. And see, Jake think it's gonna be that type of talking points forever, man. Okay, it's gonna come a time where there ain't no internet. Okay, there ain't gonna be no internet, man. Okay, and you're gonna have to make decisions based on your belief system. Okay, and the reality of prophecy is going to continue to settle in, man. Okay, but you know, you have, you know, the 1/3, the hopeful elect, and the 2/3, man, which is a, you know, a larger number. Okay, so we know most Israelites, even those that know that they're Israelites, man. Okay. They don't have a mind that's geared towards prophecy. Okay? About letting all this shit go for righteousness' sake, man. A lot of Israelites, their mind is not geared towards that. Okay? This nigga gotta be stopped. If you was really in tune with prophecy, man, you would know like this nigga gotta be stopped, man. It'd be impossible, okay, for gossip and the drama and the soap opera and the doubt and confusion to be at the forefront of everything. If you're really occupied in prophecy, man, you will come to the conclusion like this nigga gotta be stopped, man. If you was really into prophecy, Esau and salvation don't go together. That's two words that don't mix. As we really look into and the Spirit got us just really on what this nigga is doing, what he plans on doing, there is no way, okay, you will be in the spirit of all heathens can make it. Okay? Heathens can make it and Esau can make it. There's no way you'll be in that spirit if you was really in tune with prophecy and what this nigga is doing, man. What he plans on doing. Okay? There's no way that you could be about a righteous kingdom, okay, being established in the earth, okay, and you have no problem with a doctrine that's saying Esau can be saved, man. No way you can be in tune with prophecy, man. No way you can want a righteous kingdom. Okay? But there's a lot of Israelites that have no clue of what they're a part of, man. That's what the Lord is showing us, man. Okay? There's a lot of Israelites that have been around for years just hanging out. They found out they was Israelites. Okay? Stopped eating pork. And that was it. They never elevated past their first few days of finding out they were Israelites. Okay, they found some niggas that was entertaining to them. Okay, because it's not about the doctrine. That's why these guys are able to change up the doctrine so much and say anything. Okay, and still have a following, because to most Israelites, it's not about the doctrine. Okay, it's about who they like. It's not about prophecy. Okay? It's about who they like. Okay? Their favorite personalities. Okay? And Esau is using these niggas to have Jake more confused than ever. Alright? This man is getting ready to roll this thing out. Okay? And these things must be. And see, we should be grateful, okay, for understanding, for sound leadership, you know, serious-minded men, okay, they kept it about the doctrine, you know, never made it about themselves, okay, never tried to merge the ministry with the government, the 501c3, okay, never, you know, tried to merge with these other platforms. Never was chasing clout. See, we're going to be thankful for these things coming into these times, man. That the Lord established serious-minded, all right, spiritual men. Okay? Kept prophecy at the forefront. Okay? That's why there's always been, you know, major emphasis on prophecy, man. Okay? Going back, you know, to the writings of Paul, you know, out of all the spiritual gifts, prophecy was always, you know, at the forefront. Okay? Especially as we in the time of this heavy prophecy being fulfilled. Because, see, we in the clutch now. We in the trenches of this thing, man. Okay? Esau moving in the spirit like, nigga, this what it is. The spirit that Esau in, like, nigga, this what it is, man. This what it's finna be. You know? AI is the way, nigga. I'm finna invest billions, trillions. Nigga don't care about no grocery prices, no eggs. Nigga, shut your ass up. Nigga, we finna get these data centers. Okay? So I don't give a damn about you MAGA supporters. Okay, not, supporting anymore, man. He's the elites are way past that, man. Okay? Esau don't care about this shit. You see? You gotta understand, Esau a desperate man. Everything is on the line. Okay? Everything is on the line for Esau, man. These elites, man. Alright? And they know, according to prophecy, they lose, man. So Esau ain't got, alright, he's on a time sensitive mission. Okay? So this thing is getting ready to shift gears, man. It's already done downshifted. This year, man, he's just gonna keep on downshifting, man. Okay? Speeding this thing up. Alright? Because this devil knows that he's on a time sensitive mission, man. He got a window that he's trying to make. Okay? So this devil, alright, ain't got time to play around, alright, with you people. That's why, he's really gonna push censorship, because in the UK, he's like, the things that the social media liberty that we have over here in America, man, they don't have that in the UK anymore. Okay? They've arrested thousands, alright, for things posted on the internet. And it said these are things that just an annoyance, not even hate speech, an annoyance. Okay? So what we're seeing, the devil is turning into this dragon. Okay? He's rolling this thing, is here. Okay, is here. The infrastructure is here. Okay, and Esau, he's pushing it to get to the point to where he can mandate. He's pushing this infrastructure so he can get to the point where these things can be mandated. Okay, where he can really make moves, man. Lock this thing down. Okay. And then while he's rolling this out, man, he's going to create chaos, man, because he wants people to, unalive one another, man. He wants people to depopulate. Okay? You best believe he got other pestilence he want to turn loose. Because everybody, so many people's, immune system is compromised. So you still got a lot of things in the mix, man. Okay, and you niggas, cause we know niggas argue forever. Okay, but while you niggas argue, man, this devil is rolling out, man, and that's why, we speak on you niggas, man, but you can't be the priority. We speak on particular things, Spirit to have us, say things, or, but nah, you niggas couldn't be the priority, man, and that's what. And that's another goal of Esau, because every time this nigga is called out, the spotlight is on him. Niggas come with madhouse doctrine, man. Every time, Esau is being outed, okay, or some pressure on this nigga, it's always a crazy ass doctrine to come out. Every time, man. Okay? So we know that it's one and the same. Okay? The same people that's pushing New World Order, setting this thing up, with the same men that your teachers, your leaders are getting their marching orders from. The men, okay, that you love so much. Okay? And it is what it is, because the scriptures speak about, false prophets always had a big following. It was always spoken well of amongst Jake. Okay? Because all false prophets do is cater to what you want to hear. They cater to your emotions. Okay? They cater to your gray area. Okay? So the scriptures always spoke about, okay, how Jake was always drawn to smooth words. Okay? Jake was always drawn to false prophets above the sincere men. Okay, that the Lord, would send, with the warning. Okay? But at the end of the day, alright, you tribes, okay, ignoring the warning, well, they work against you. Okay? And Jake act like we're hurt, because they ignoring the warning. Because it's a big community, because it's a big community of Israelites that's against, the true prophets. Like, that hurt us, like we just heartbroken. I guess that's the reaction Jake be expecting, for us to just be, heartbroken. Okay? Because they don't believe. You see? But nah, man. Okay? You niggas everybody finna have to deal with the reality of prophecy, man. Okay? Ain't gonna be no getting around it. Okay? You ain't gonna debate your way out of it. Okay? You ain't gonna type your way out of it. You finna have to deal with this shit that Esau rolling out. You finna have to make a hard stance. You finna have to make a decision one way or the other. Okay? When you get through typing, okay, when you get through trying to make that dumbass doctrine make sense, okay, when you people get through trying to defend these niggas and all, you're gonna have to deal with the reality of prophecy, man, and what this man is doing real time. Okay, so that's the point, Lord will, you brothers, all right, and you sisters edified once again. I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to our younger brothers. And peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful Shalom.